Donald Trump holds court down in Florida. David Brody here in the district, D.C., with the Trump transition update. That's right, he's down at Mar-a-Lago, or however you pronounce that. It's got a hyphen in there somewhere. And he's holding meetings all this week leading up to Christmas. That's where he'll spend it with the family. He actually named the Secretary of the Army today, or at least offered the job, to the owner of the Florida Panthers Hockey Club. Leave it to Donald Trump, the outsider, to name the Secretary of Army as a guy that runs a Florida Panthers hockey team. Go figure. Anyhow, look, there are a couple things on the docket that he's got to deal with. Obviously, one is Russia, the CIA, FBI. It seems like everybody now pretty much coming out with a consensus that Russia did indeed hack into somehow, some way, the election here in 2016. So Donald Trump is going to have to deal with this somehow. And I think one of the ways potentially for him and the administration, or at least the incoming administration, to split the difference here is to understand that indeed Russia hacking into a U.S. election is problematic. They're going to have to come out and address that, especially if he's this pro-America type president that he makes so much fuss about. So he's going to have to be have some sort of condemnation in that aspect, but at the same time he might be able to distance that portion of it with the fact that Donald Trump, that this election was not necessarily geared towards having Donald Trump win. I mean, where's the proof in that? And that's what Kellyanne Conway and Reince Priebus and the folks are saying. So that's one issue. One of the other very interesting aspects here is this nomination of Mick Mulvaney to be the OMB budget director here, because what's happening here, it's very interesting what Donald Trump is doing. Mick Mulvaney is a guy that wants to tear apart entitlement spending. He really wants to kind of maneuver it, rework it in a very big league way, as Donald Trump would say. Well, Donald Trump has been against entitlement reform all throughout the campaigns, but look what Donald Trump has done. He's got Tom Price at HHS, a guy that knows the budget and knows all about Obamacare, so he's going to be dealing with HHS and Tom Price. He's going to be dealing with Mick Mulvaney at OMB, and both of these guys are budget guys. Both of these guys want to repeal and replace Obamacare, so he's kind of putting in the work, or I should say the machinations, if you will, of a very fine-oiled machine here when it comes to repealing and replacing Obamacare and doing a lot of things with budget numbers. It's going to be interesting, though, because Donald Trump doesn't necessarily buy into all of this cuts to entitlement spending, so how he maneuvers on that will be very interesting to watch. In the meantime, Donald Trump spent some time down at Mar-a-Lago, like we said, having Christmas with the family, and Mike Pence will spend it in Indiana later this week. David Brody here in the district, in the CBN newsroom, wow, with the Trump transition update.